welcome to a new video. Today's video I'm going to share with you my experience when I spoke at the PAVE Conference at DMU University in Leicester. This was the proudest moment for me because I was acknowledged as an inspirational speaker or influential, and because it allowed me to share my passion for personal branding, networking, and preparing for the future of work, and that even though you're a scientist graduate, you can create your career. So I'm going to share with you my experience, so grab your coffee or tea, and I'll share with you how this experience was so impactful and the lessons that I've learned, even though I was a speaker, but trust me, I have learned from that experience. So let me start by how impressed I was when I attended the conference. By the way, I'm going to confess anyway, I didn't know that this university existed until I was introduced to DMU University when I was in Dubai. I had a collaboration with them. I delivered a webinar with them. So that's how I knew they existed. So I had an idea. So when I was, I must admit, when I started posting on YouTube, this university has acknowledged what I have been sharing. Anyway, so it was my first experience to go outside London and speak at a university outside London. So I was really proud and I was so excited. It was just the day before I travel, so I've worked it out that I'm gonna not go back to work after that. So I was really impressed on how big the university was. I've been to different cities outside London, but this was the first time I landed in Leicester. So when I attended the university, I was like, wow, it's a big university. It was a big site. Like really, as you know me, I love blogging. I love showing. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have had an idea, and I've already posted about it. But like I said, sometimes it takes time to reflect on your experience and share your experience about how it was or how impactful. So I do my reflection a bit later on. So obviously I was taking my time to explore, and you know what guys, I almost missed the train. Oh my god, I was like, oh my god, I don't know what happened to the time. I didn't realize that I didn't make it on time, and I was so lucky that I know St Pancras station. I knew how long it can be once you get out of the gate to me. Oh my god, I don't know why I'm laughing. I even posted it on social media. I'll share about it, but I really almost missed the train. I just could not believe my ears. And then what time was the train leaving? I think it was leaving just after 2 minutes past 12. As soon as I got to the platform, I thought, that's it. I didn't get it. And luckily, I knew where the platform. By the time I got to the gate, I knew I've missed it. So I still showed the officer my ticket. He said, it's just there. It's about, I never ran in my life like I did. And then the lady was like, this gate, this gate. As soon as I was literally running and making it to the train, oh God. I made it. So that was the funny thing. You know what, in my head I was thinking, I'm just gonna, if I miss it, I'll pay for the next one. It's so expensive. Anyway, I managed. So that was a dramatic start to the day. I thought, oh God, is that a bad sign? So I thought I'll make you laugh and share with you guys this whole embarrassment moment. So when I arrived, I was like, wow, because I really wanted to arrive before my time. I don't think about just my job and doing my job and go. No, I take it as a learning experience. I've come to a new city, a new place, new people. So anyway, eventually I got to the hall, me and my rucksack. Obviously they thought I was a student. I said, no, I'm a keynote speaker. I was really proud of myself actually. Keynote speaker. Ooh, you know what that means? When you put a title on your LinkedIn that you're a keynote speaker, it makes a huge difference because that means you're a leader. You've got a leadership role. By the way guys, if you know me, I'm just a biomedical scientist. I don't have a leadership role. I don't have any research paper. None. But I'm creating my career. I am a leader. So I was really impressed on how big the conference was. I was like, wow, it's really big. It was a whole of every industry that you can think of. It's a career day. It's a whole day of events, and apparently from what I have heard, that students have to make up their time and go. It wasn't no lectures cancelled, nothing. So I was really, really impressed. I didn't know that this university, one of the top universities, so I was very impressed. And the way the conference was brought together, it brought all professionals, academics, and students, showed how committed they are to bridge the gap between the education and the evolving job market. So I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I always take any experience to learn. So what I did when I arrive, I don't just sit there and wait for my time. No, I arrived early. I was told to arrive early so that for settings and things like that. But I arrived early and I went to, obviously I was greeted by them and they introduced me to them, and it was obviously, this work has been a couple of months before. I think in July I was approached about it, and the whole negotiation and interview and all of that. So when I went to the event, I said I want to see the place. So I had a round and I saw army, every industry you can think of. So if you are a student, don't make my mistake. Participate in these events, because you never know how it will make a difference to your career. Send your CV, give your CV. This is how you start your career, and this is a mistake that I made. I didn't make effort. I was just focusing on my academic achievement. Don't do that. This is where your career can take a huge turning point. So I went to the biomedical science to see what's the latest, because remember, I'm a Londoner. I don't know what happens outside London. I know London is a hub where people can get a job, good salary and all that. It's expensive, but in terms of career progression is ideal. So this was in Leicester, outside London, so I had to consider that it's completely different environment, it's very challenging, etc. Even though in the past, in my time, it was easy to get a biomedical scientist trainee job outside London. Now it's equivalent, it's all challenging, it's all difficult. So I went to the section where biomedical science was, and it happened that I was introduced to the lecturer who will introduce me to the students. And the challenge was exactly the same. It's very difficult. People were doing masters in order to get a job, but that's not the case, and that was the trap that I fell into. So I did my round, and then I sat down, and I was observing the students who were part of the organizing team. That's another thing I would advise you if you're a student. Participate in these extracurricular events or activities, because that's how you build connections. That's how you know how to get a job. I didn't know that October, November time, that's the time when employers employ the next cycle of graduates or new employees, etc. Because I did ask, why is that timing? Why is it November time is the time that you gather all these employers under one roof? So I was really impressed on how big this conference was, and I was very, very happy to be part of it. So I was ready. Obviously, another thing I did, I went to check where I was going to speak. I like to know where I'm gonna stand, what is it like. So I sat there, attended somebody who spoke before me, just to see I have a fear of lighting. If it's dark, photos are gonna look bad. So anyway, so I sat there and I had a look. So I went outside again, sat where the registration desk, observing what happens, how people, and I spoke to several people, because I take these opportunities to research, to understand what's happening, what's the latest. And you need to have an open mind. If you're that type of person, I don't take speaking experiences or being a moderator or panelist. I've been part of all of these. I like to have a feel of what's the current situation that I'm speaking about. I specialize in the future of work and education, so the connection between the education and the job market or the professional industry, because you study, you graduate, you don't know what's going on in the world, and it is unfortunately governed by who you know. You have to build connections. But now the good news is, now you can do it through LinkedIn and personal branding and networking. So when the time for my talk came, I spoke about what I'm passionate about. So I spoke about my journey, but also I was talking about the importance of personal branding and networking. This event was networking. The students came to understand. And what I did before the talk, I sat outside to see how many students are coming, because my talk was at the end. It was the last talk. So I was like, let me bring customers in. So whenever students were asking, I'm like, I'm making sure if you're a biomedical science student or science student, I'll drag you in. You can't pass this point. So you promote for your session. That's another thing I've learned. So one of the key messages I've delivered, or I wanted them to appreciate, that their degree does not define their path. It's just a foundation. It's not enough in the today's competitive work landscape. It's not enough. I cannot emphasize on this enough. Employers are looking for individuals who stand out. How can you stand out? And this is how personal branding can help you to achieve that. So for example, LinkedIn is not just a profile, it's your digital it's your digital CV or digital it's more than that. How can I say? It's a platform that will showcase your expertise, your values, your vision, your personality, and consistently sharing content that will let others engage, and you have to engage as well. Don't be a passive user. Comment. And this is how I started on social media, how I started growing on LinkedIn when algorithms were in my favor. I was engaging with people, commenting, sharing, resharing. I was really engaging, and I built great connections from Instagram that I'm still connected with now, and most of them are influential through being proactive. And the same tactics I used when I used LinkedIn. LinkedIn as well is so powerful, because now people want to, if you put my name on LinkedIn, you'll have an idea on who I am. And I do change my headline every year, or if I have a certain change, I change it. So it's more than your resume. It's more than your digital CV. Think of it that way. Also, another thing which I'm very passionate about is networking, whether virtually or in person. So what I told the students, you being here, that is part of networking. So you know how it's like, how important it is. You've asked a person who has experience, who's been there, done that. So even though I speak to biomedical science students at the moment, but I give them a bigger picture on how you can create your career from my journey, which even though I'm still on that journey myself, but I have something to share from the collaborations that I have had, which I have shared with them, and I'll be sharing with you guys here, and I'll tell you more details about those collaborations that I've had and how that helped me, and how you can have those opportunities in order for you to get those collaborations. So that's why I initiated this channel, so I can share my experience with you guys. Obviously, a year and a half ago when I launched it, I didn't have a vision. I was still very fresh into my journey. But now, 3 years on, I have a lot to share with you guys, especially now after I've reached where I want to reach, and now I'm in a pivotal moment where I want to branch out or upscale, which I'll share with you guys. Like I said, this experience is not me just delivering and that's it. No, there were lessons that I have learned from that experience, speaking to the students. I've learned that in order for university to understand what I'm advocating for in terms of future of work, future of education, the university has to have a vision for the future. They have to have that vision that I share with them, in terms of, for example, that they appreciate that students have to take a proactive steps to in the evolving world of where AI is taking over, automation, and the importance of transferable skills and how critical they are. So that's one thing I've learned, the first lesson. The second lesson I learned is students, they have to embrace that it's a career is more than their degree, and it doesn't define their path. For example, even though I've got a biomedical science master's or background, and a scientific and biochemistry degree. I did healthcare management postgraduate certificate. So I've got a scientific background, but then I've branched out into creativity. And that's one of the skills that AI cannot replace: creativity, adaptability, emotional intelligence, many skills that AI will not replace. So appreciating those skills will help you to create your career. Sharing the journey is very powerful. I decided to share my journey with you guys in order for you to appreciate that it's important, and for you to learn from my mistakes and my experiences. So I'm sharing my own career transition. I'm sharing the challenges that I'm facing, and seeing the students being able to resonate with this, they all trying to find the job. For me, it's fulfilling to give them that beam of hope that you can create your career, and it doesn't have to be in a lab. I really discovered recently when I was producing content about biomedical science beyond the lab, I realized there are other roles that you can get involved. But again, you have to pitch for yourself, you have to cold call, you have to cold email, etc., etc. There's other ways that you can take rather than just applying for a job and hoping for the best, because that's ineffective now. The final lesson that I learned is consistency pays off. And this is from my experience. I was sharing content consistently, showing up all the time, and it paid off. I've been put in a position that people are appreciating what I'm trying to say or what I'm sharing, or engaging with what I'm sharing. So consistency does pay off. So looking back at this experience, I feel more committed to my mission about shaping the future of work and education. And to all the students and educators at the PAVE conference, I thank you for the inspiring conversations and for reinforcing what I do, to why what I do. And moving forward, I'll continue to advocate for the importance of bridging education with real world skills, helping individuals to build visionary careers, and encouraging everybody to take ownership of their journey. I'm hoping at the end of this video, I've shared with you my experience and my reflections. What I want you, to everybody who is watching this video, is to understand two things. Your degree is a starting point, but your growth will depend on your effort and the effort that you put into building your personal brand, networking, and embracing an adaptive and growing mindset. That is very important for you to thrive and to grow. And don't be afraid to share your story, because to take a less walked path or unwalked path is where you will discover your true potential. And this is from my own experience. So let's continue to create those amazing careers, and reach out to me, guys, if you found this video helpful, or you've attended the conference and you didn't share everything that you wanted to share. Feel free to comment on this video and subscribe, because I'll be sharing more stories and more experiences and topics you didn't think of, that will help you to create your career. Even though I'm on that journey myself, I'm not gonna lie, I'm enjoying it, but I'm like you, I'm learning. I'm learning and sharing, as simple as that.
Returning to share my journey as a speaker at the PAVE conference has been nothing short of inspiring. Unlike my talk at Kingston University, this was a new experience, stepping into a new city, connecting with brilliant minds at DMU University in Leicester. Standing in front of these students, I shared more than just strategies for building a career in biomedical science. I spoke about breaking away from traditional paths and embracing the power of creativity, resilience, and continuous learning. The best part of any in-person engagement is the immediate connection, the moments of understanding, the spark of inspiration in their eyes, and the conversations that linger long after the talk ends. It's what makes these experiences unforgettable. Hearing students reflect on their own potential, realizing that they can shape their careers beyond boundaries, it's what drives me. My goal is to show them that they can forge a career not just based on what's expected, but on their vision for themselves. A heartfelt thank you to the incredible organizers, faculty, and especially the students who made this moment memorable. Next week, we continue the journey with the PAVE webinar to explore even more possibilities beyond the lab. To those watching, never stop dreaming, growing, and creating your own unique path. If you want more insights, follow me on my social media and YouTube, where I share the untold stories, experiences, and practical strategies for building a career beyond expectations while I am on that journey myself. See you there.
So until the next video, keep shining, keep inspiring, and see you next time.